Let me tell you about something that happened to me last summer. An experience that still keeps me up at night. I was house sitting for my aunt in her old Victorian home, one of those creaky houses with too many rooms and way too many shadows. Everything was fine for the first few days. Just me, Netflix, and the occasional weird sound that old houses make. But on the fourth night, something changed. I was in the kitchen making a midnight snack when I heard what sounded like humming coming from upstairs. Not the mechanical kind, it was melodic like a lullaby. Now, I'm not usually the type to get spooked easily, but there was something about that tune that made my skin crawl. I tried to ignore it, telling myself it was probably just the wind through the old chimney. But then I remembered. My aunt had mentioned that the chimney had been sealed years ago. The humming grew louder, and I could swear it was moving. From the upstairs hallway, down the stairs, getting closer and closer. My hands were shaking so bad. I dropped my phone when I tried to call someone, anyone. That's when the temperature dropped. I'm not talking about a slight chill. I could see my breath in the air. The humming was right outside the kitchen now, and with it came the soft sound of footsteps. Tap, tap, tap. I backed away from the door, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst. The humming stopped. Complete silence. Well, let's just say I've never run so fast in my life. When I finally worked up the courage to return the next morning, everything was exactly as I'd left it, except for one thing. There on the kitchen counter was a music box I'd never seen before. It was covered in dust except for the wind-up key, which looked like it had been recently turned. And when I opened it, the melody it played was exactly the same as the humming I'd heard the night before. My aunt later told me she'd never owned a music box. To this day, I can't explain what happened that night. But sometimes, when it's very quiet, I swear I can still hear that haunting melody floating on the edge of my consciousness, waiting to be heard again. And you know what's the scariest part? I recently found out that the previous owner of that house had disappeared without a trace 50 years ago. The only thing they found in her room was a single note that read, "The music never stops. It just finds a new listener." So next time you hear an unfamiliar melody in the dead of night, remember my story. And whatever you do, don't follow the tune.